Well, we are back, finally. It's only been, 3 weeks since we were back on here together?
Yep.
Life happens and just got to roll with it. Yep. We will continue to do our best to be on here every week, but, running business with 4 kids and homeschooling and all of that, time seems to get away from you pretty rapidly. So we will do our best to continue this.
Our best.
We both recently got some new hammocks that we're pretty excited about. Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, Brittany has gone on a lot of hammock camping trips with me, but it's not always been her favorite thing to do, I'll say.
No.
You'll do it, but it's not like what you are, like you're like, hey, I'm going to go out hammock camping this weekend because it sounds so fun. You're like, oh, yeah, I guess I'll come with you because what else am I going to do?
I think it's just I've always had a hard time getting exactly as comfortable as I need to be. And so I always think I want to be on the ground or like flat lay of some sort is the issue. So.
Yeah, comfort is the number one push for hammocks, but it's also, which is ironic, it's the number one complaint that I hear about people hammock camping. So hammocks are supposed to be the most comfortable sleep that you can get out in the woods. But yeah, it's what I hear most people complain about. So it's one of those things where if you don't get it right, you're going to be more uncomfortable. Whereas sleeping on a pad, you can't really get it wrong. It's just you blow it up and you lay on it. So there's not as much of a learning curve as there is with hammocks. Even after doing it for as many years as I have, I still, almost every time I go out the first night out, I'm uncomfortable. Almost always. And I think that's true for tent camping too, but that's more because it's your first night, not sleeping in your bed. Yeah. So you go, 100 days straight sleeping in your bed, and then you go sleep on a thin air mattress, and it's, of course, you're not going to sleep great the first time. But hammock camping is definitely a lot more tricky. And so you got excited about this particular hammock when we were down at HangCon. And if you're fans of ours, you will have already seen my initial review of the hammock that I received. Both hammocks are from Majestic Hammocks, and man, are they comfortable.
Yeah.
And that was what really drew you to the hammock was the second you got in it, you were instantly like comfortable. You didn't have the tight spots. There was no, and that was my experience when I took it out. Like I set it up the first time and it was comfortable, right? Even though the pitch wasn't even quite right.
Well, when we met Corey at HangCon, that was one of the things I said. He really wanted me to get in and try it. And I'm like, I've tried a lot. And I don't know if it's because I'm short and I like to sleep this particular way, but I've just not found one that is exactly.
You're not that short.
Well.
You're 5'3".
5'3" generously.
5'3" and 1.
But they say like 5'2.5" or something technically, but they've always just been like.
Just like I've always been 6'2", but you always tell me I'm only 6'1.5".
Oh, okay. Yeah. But he really wanted me to lay in it and just get that different feel and just give it a try. And even when I did at HangCon, it was just like instantly I was like looking for the kind of those spots that I typically will feel a little bit of discomfort, or after that first night, I'm like, it just really got me on the shoulder is mostly where I deal with it. And I've just not experienced that yet. I've not done like obviously an overnight in it or anything, but
I've done an extreme overnight. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. I'm gonna plug it right here on the top, on that screen or this screen. I don't know. Extreme winter camping, crazy overnight trip with this hammock. Definitely go check that out if you haven't seen it. Highly recommended. So you and I were talking. One of the things that we want to do, we have a good section of woods in our backyard. And so I was talking to you the other day, one of the things I really want to do a lot this summer is like do a lot of family camping trips in the backwoods, because we've been talking about doing it for several years since we've been in this house. Right. And I had started the works of, building a campground back there and all that fun stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the kids out, do some overnight trips out there, get them more acclimated to hammock camping. But you and I also talked about, hey, what a great opportunity to get a lot of nights in our hammocks, and we can go out and kind of do like date night type deal in the woods, and we can do our own cooking back there and hang out and camp. So if you're interested in that, what do we tell them to do? Leave a comment below if you're interested in seeing us go do a trip in our backyard together in our new
actual
hammocks.
Trips, but
no,
that's okay.
That's for real hikers.
Well, it will be we're aspiring.
We have a mountain in our backyard.
Yeah, we do.
As proven in the last trip video, which we will be scaling. Maybe we'll go out this weekend. Who knows? Maybe we'll go out this weekend and do a overnighter in the hammocks.
I mean, they haven't been tested, so. Well, okay, yours.
Yeah, come on. I did.
Mine has not been tested. We did string it up in the shop, and I got to actually lay in it.
And you are obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with it.
I need to get some good footage of it because the colors, I got to pick my colors, and
Yeah, definitely awesome. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
We have a lot of big trips this year planned. How many of them we'll get to is yet to be determined. Right. It seems like we have at least a dozen or more trips planned this year, and my guess is we'll get to about 3 of them.
If we're lucky.
It's the reality of having kids and business, and as much as we take them with us when we can, it's not always that practical, and it's not always practical to find babysitters for, the week to 2 week long events. Right. So, and this is a family business, and we want to try to do as many of those things together. So it's one of those things where if we can't both go, then I'm not gonna drop that burden on you to go for 2 weeks to go somewhere and vice versa. So we will get out to as many events, trail days, all that kind of stuff as possible. But this is all still relatively new, and managing all of the chaos. So if we don't make it, just come see us here. It's a lot easier. I always tell people, it's funny because how many times people will invite us over to their house, for holidays or whatever, and it's 2 of them and there's 6 of us, and we're always like, well, why don't you just come here? Yeah. And how many times have we had family tell us like they didn't want to pack up all their stuff to come here, and you're like, but we got to pack up.
Well, that was I think when the kids were like pretty little, and we were toting around kids to all these different houses, and then we finally just laid down some boundaries about holidays and how things were going to go, and that's been a lot more peaceful, I think, since. But it's kind of like applying the same thing to business and trips is like, okay, we have to keep family first. We can't just get stars in our eyes about traveling and seeing all these new places and meeting all these cool people. Like, yes, do that, obviously, because that's like a fun part of life and experience, but keep it all in perspective so that our family goals aren't shifting. Yeah.
No, I completely agree.
My nose is running. It's very crazy.
And you keep smacking this table. You are obsessed with smacking this thing.
Allergies.
But anyways, I completely agree. I, for a long time, have always had like this big dream and how I envision my life and blah, blah, blah. But in my older age, no, but seriously.
We were such young parents that now being in like our mid-ish 30s,
early 30s. I'm 32.
Okay,
thank
sorry,
you.
35.
I'm not mid.
I'm almost 34. Okay, but it doesn't feel old at all, but it does feel like in our time together, being so young, that it's like 19 and 20. Now we're 33. I think we're both 33 right now. No, you're still 32.
Yeah, I just said that.
We always have that little window where we're the same age for a little bit.
Yeah, okay. You're not 34 until the end of this next year, or this year. Come on.
Sort of.
Anyways,
that was a big squirrel moment.
I see such an amazing opportunity for our family specifically to do so many more trips together, spending a lot more time, just quality time in general, between all the chaos and busy schedules and business and blah, blah, blah. It's like literally nothing but screen time, and, everybody's like just spread out doing their own thing because we all have so much to do.
Mm-hmm. The heater. Well, screen time, like the kids don't just get
wonder how that's going to pick up in the background. Wonder how that heater's going to pick up in the background.
Yeah. But you said that about the screen time, and I was like, what?
No, I'm just saying, like for me, for instance, I get on the computer and work a lot at home, and it's just, my point is that there's a lot of opportunity nowadays more than ever for disconnect where the family's concerned. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I completely agree. I think it's extremely important nowadays more than ever to be emphasizing like the family unit. You know, obviously not everybody has the opportunity that we do to be like with our kids all day long, and also running a company that is in the outdoor industry. So that opens up a lot of opportunities for us to like be doing a lot more. But being in this business for as long as I have, we've still not done a lot of it because it's so easy to get consumed like in the distractions of life and business. And, you know, whether you're just working a 9-to-5 job, the amount of time that we have in general just seems smaller and smaller and smaller. And so, you know, how we carve out that time. And again, a lot of people don't understand, like when you're running a small business, like we are wearing so many hats in the operation, and, you know, we'll get emails on the weekend and people will start freaking out because we haven't responded. And it's like, at some point we have to say like, look, we have to take time for our families, and we're not, you know, at the point where we have like this full call center customer service team. And I don't know if I'll ever want to get to that point because I like the personal touch aspect of how our business works. And, you know, it's tricky because if you're not intentional about carving out that time, it's just not going to happen. And for me, I don't want to be, you know, 40, 50, 60 years old looking back on my life going, man, I wish I would have just taken more time for the things that really are important. And if you spend any amount of time talking to somebody who's elderly, very, very rarely do they talk about, you know, the amount of money they made or the jobs that they worked or whatever. They always talk about like the regrets that they have, and it's usually almost always correlated to their children or their family or their spouse. People, right, exactly. And that's where, if you can take that and adopt that mindset at a young age and really apply those principles, like how much more rewarding and fulfilling is your life going to be? Because it doesn't always seem like that. Like I've told myself countless times, like, well, I'm doing this for them. I'm doing this for my kids and for my wife so that we can, you know, have nicer things and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, those things are all, you can go into endless loops of chasing the wind and chasing your tail, trying to achieve this and grab this and do this. And it's like, at some point you just have to slow down and what's it really about? And so we have very strict plans in terms of how we want to grow. That doesn't mean that we're going to slow our growth. It just means that you have to understand from our perspective that we're going to do everything we can to accommodate as many people as we can, but we're always going to prioritize our family and that time together. And if you're sending me messages on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and it's past, you know, 6 p.m., chances are good you're not getting a response, because those are times that we like to carve out for family.
Yeah, I mean, I think...
Oh, children.
Another kid. Well, same kid. Second. Oh, another kid. The UGQ kids. What? Yeah.
More donuts.
Hey, can you bring? Hey, can you bring? We're a donut shop. We're
can you bring two donuts this way?
We're a donut family.
2 donuts, please.
I don't even remember.
Delivery service.
I was gonna say, I think because you and I are so work oriented and we try to like really just stay on top of things and be very organized and detailed, that it is hard to say no to emails on the weekend and late at night. And you kind of make those compromises because you want to be a good business owner, but then you're like, oh no, now I didn't spend time with my partner in bed, or I didn't spend time with my kids. Like, I don't know. That part of it has been a little tricky, I think, for me, because I went from working mom, full-time home mom, now back to working mom.
He's just bare-handing them over here.
Here's Dad.
Okay. Thanks, buddy.
Keep the immunity strong.
Thanks.
And Tom is back. I lost my train of thought.
You were saying that.
And I got to quit looking here.
Something about kids and work.
I think it's just been me transitioning from, I was working, go to school mom, then I was home full-time mom. Now I've transitioned back to, I'm kind of like a hybrid of sorts. Working mom, I'm wearing a lot of hats. Homeschooling mom, I don't know, all the things. So it is kind of hard because you want to have balance. You want to. I can't excel at every single thing that I do, so I have to have trade-offs. Like,
what do you mean you can't excel?
I mean, I can't get it probably to my own standard of, I don't want to say perfection.
You're saying you can't.
I can do it all, but I'm losing my. There's going to be a lot of editing here.
No edits.
I don't know. Yes, I can excel at everything that I do, but if I decide to answer emails on the weekend, well, then I'm forfeiting time that I could be devoting to my family, because technically those are not working hours.
Yeah.
So it's been easy for me to slip into that, because it has been exciting to be working again. I was like kind of ready at this point, and it's just been a little bit difficult. So as you're talking about growth and that we want to grow, we want to expand, we want to, really do things big with the business, but keep those family perspectives and goals in mind. It's tricky, I think, is what I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
Like I need to dial in a little bit better. Mm-hmm. I think people are getting used to the fact that they can talk to us on the weekends and the evenings, and because it, like you said in one of your videos, it's all you, which it's me too.
Well, okay, yes,
but I'm saying it is us that's on the social media and that's on all these different things. Like, it's not just some customer service employee. It's like pretty much you or me. So I like that aspect of it a lot. Like you said, that personal feel, that when they're like, oh, hey, Chad, I met you, when they see us at events, or Brittany, I've met you, I've talked to you. I've talked to you, like through email on the phone. I really like that aspect of it too. But yeah, to be able to delegate some of that sounds nice sometimes. But
that's exactly what I did.
Yeah, you delegated it to me.
That does feel great.
I don't know. It's tricky, because like when we were on the road going to HangCon, like traveling to Florida as a family in the RV, there is time that, yes, I spent time with the kids. You're there. We were homeschooling on the road, but there's also time to take care of some business stuff. So it's like, why not?
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, is that, the reality is when you own a business, the work technically never stops. Like there's always something that could be getting done. And I guess that's kind of like my overall point, is that if you're not intentional, you could literally just work all day long, especially if it's something that you enjoy and you're like passionate about. It doesn't feel like work. And then all of a sudden it's, how many times have I got home from work and then now it's 10 p.m. and I'm still on the computer, like staring at the website, changing this and doing that. And it's like, holy cow, I didn't even eat lunch. I didn't eat dinner. I don't even know where my whole life just went. And you just can get consumed in it. So, we had set a rule actually several years ago before we even did this, about like no phones at the dinner table. We tried to do family dinner every single night.
Or as much as possible.
Yeah, as much as possible. I mean, obviously
no
it's not
devices at the table.
Yep, which is great, because it allows for a lot of conversation. We get to talk about each other's day, even though we're all with each other in the same shop. We all still have different experiences,
like on that movie,
throughout the day. Yeah, we actually.
The Mitchells, he's like,
eye contact.
Look at each other.
Yeah, it definitely makes a big difference in your home life. And all right, hold on, we got more kids coming in.
Fourth interruption. You guys can eat and drink whatever you'd like during this time. Okay. The general rules apply.
Okay, they shut the door.
They're gonna see
they took that literal.
The sheer panic on my face after I said that.
Yeah,
I was like, wait.
You're putting the kids to bed.
They know that I have some general specifics now, some guidelines.
They're literally gonna be in there dumping the bag of sugar.
Yeah, probably. We're trying to do this while they're out there on lunch.
So we are keeping this one a little bit shorter today, just because of time crunches, and we have all of our kids here.
Literally on lunch break.
Literally on lunch break in the middle of the day. So we will, like I said, be doing some family trips together, as well as some trips with just you and I that go beyond our backyard. We will be taking some actual trips, kind of showing you, different dynamic of couples backpacking, and we've got some couples things to test. We've got our Tango Duo quilt that we want to get some good miles on, and all that good stuff. So again, if you're interested in that type of content, be a liker, a commenter.
It's like my little trademark. I need a shirt.
Liker it.
Be a liker. Yeah, liker it. I don't remember what I said.
Yeah, that's 100% happening.
I need to. Yeah.
We've already had people tell us that they wanted us to make that shirt for us, so that's definitely
It'll be on
coming.
the website soon. UGQ liker. Hashtag UGQ liker.
Also, the quick sneak peek, we do have a couple really awesome special guests planned for some upcoming episodes. So again, be sure to subscribe. And I think they're supposed to hit the bell thing, and I think what that does is that notifies you
when a new video is
that person
uploaded or posted.
I don't care if you do that or not. Just keep an eye on us.
It just keeps people from missing
There's
videos, I think is what it is.
some powerhouses coming through, so we're definitely excited about that. And close us out.
It's the day of interruptions. I'm too distracted.
Oh yeah,
My
there's
ADHD,
literally.
I'm like,
Well, what are you gonna get when you're filming in the middle
Chad's
of
there,
the shop, literally in the smack dab center of the shop, on a lunch
lunch
break with kids
trying
here,
to keep
staff,
everybody
and
out. Yeah.
yeah, it's whatever.
We just needed to come
This
on
is
and
how-
say we're here.
This
We
is
haven't
how
left,
we do it.
that we're still here. I'm still here. We've been here like every day, all day, late nights,
Lots of pizza.
out on production.
Lots of
I mean,
yeah. Which, speaking of, feel free to buy more, as much as you want. We have no limits. No limits on quantities that you can add to your cart. So 100% feel free. I'm not selling you anything. I'm just saying
it's like a commercial.
do it now.
Do it now. I'm always like getting people. I'm like the call to action. I'm like, get on 10,000 subscribers. Well,
10,000 likers,
or
honey.
likers
Come
on Instagram. And I'm always like the call
We're
to
getting
action.
close.
This
We're at
time
like
it was you.
9,400.
We are close. Since my last plug,
And I'm
you
pretty
guys
sure
have
Brittany
followed through.
promised some sort of giveaway.
I did. I said we would do an awesome giveaway of some sort. And
Yep,
I
we will be
am
giving
a woman
away
of my word.
Brittany's quilts.
That just means I get new quilts. So that's
Okay.
fine.
That's exactly how I.
That's how you are too.
Yeah, I give
So-
my stuff away pretty much every time we go on a trip. I'm like, oh, you want it? Here you go.
Mhm.
I should quit
So
doing
yeah,
that.
whether or not I don't know if you mentioned that we might go out tonight earlier in the video.
I just said this weekend, but
Oh,
yeah, tonight
okay.
would be cool.
I thought you said
I think-
tonight specifically. To get the Majestic Hammocks up.
It's supposed to be down to 36 tonight. Extreme winter. Go check that video out. Extreme winter challenge. 36
It'll
degrees.
be zoom in on my face, the look of regret.
Will they survive?
Maybe we'll just do a tent, a pad, and a duo.
No.
That,
No, the
I
whole
never even
point
touched
is to
back
try
on that. We're
the
like
hammocks.
to the closing, and I said, along with just the discomfort of the hammock, you've mentioned in like several videos now, so I need to come on the record about me having a unwillingness to sleep on my own. Just throwing me under the bus. It's fine. I can sleep on my own. It's just a little, anybody who's hammock camp says it's just a little bit weird out there. You're a little bit vulnerable. Like you're just like hanging there. And it feels like
That's what
anything
we
could
should
happen.
do. We should make
So
a
I
tarp.
want one of those big tarps so that we can be in our own hammocks. Fine. But in the same shelter. That
We
way if
can.
there's
We
any
have those
wild
tarps here. We
animals,
make,
murderers, etc.
Oh,
that
God.
I'm
Listen, if there's a
covered.
wild animal or a murderer, I can assure you I'm running. So you better get your tennies on, because
I'm already convinced I'm the person that just dies because I don't.
honey,
I've just accepted.
you know I will protect
I've
you
just accepted it.
I
don't
will
run,
strangle
I don't
a bear
survive till the end
with my bare
I'm that
hands
person
if
that
I
just
have to.
probably Early on.
I will jump on its back and ride it off into the woods.
But okay, so those are the reasons. So I am wanting to get out there and really, I'm putting a lot of faith in Corey at Majestic Hammocks.
Well, just so you know, the hammock is not bear proof, so
Yeah,
don't
and
put too much
I'm
faith
talking
in
about
it.
sheer comfort.
Oh.
Warmth, I know that I'm all set with insulation because I got my hammock here. So I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I have all of this
that's accurate.
great
That's
stuff
accurate.
here. I'm not worried about that. I'm not
Hammock
worried
gear.
about the tarp.
Check them out.
I'm
Well,
giving,
check us out
I'm
first.
giving
If
Adam
you
a
don't find what
plug.
you need from us,
It
yes,
was, no,
you can go to them.
I had to
It's
give
fine.
Adam a plug because he came out and said on your HangCon podcast that it was really me that everybody was probably after seeing on those podcasts. So thanks, Adam. Thanks. And then that was my plug to you. Just kidding. This is a UGQ podcast, so buy from us, please. I'll be all set with insulation and a tarp. I'm going to see about this hammock. We will see. Can Chad go to events and sleep in a hammock? Come on. He's allowed to. It's not that type of situation.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. You need to come on the record and say, no, it's just that Brittany's so beautiful. Of course, I want to sleep next to her.
No, I mean, okay.
Just kidding.
That's not even fair
That was
to word it like
shameless,
that.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Obviously, you're beautiful, and obviously, I want to lay next to you. But when we go hammock
My own
camping,
compliments.
I
know.
You know,
Hammock events, and I've
we're
made
just
him
gonna-
look so bad. An RV, tent. I'm just like embarrassing you.
let's be real here for a second, because I was 100% okay with sleeping in an RV the whole time we were at HangCon.
The tent, I will say, you had just had surgery, and I was kind of like, as your wife, like, we do need to be smart about this. We don't want to be putting all this pressure on your body that's just had a lot of work, and so you were not too upset about the fact that I wanted to sleep in a tent.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely been a challenge. There's so much pressure on your hips in the hammock, and having 3 hip reconstructions on the same side.
Yeah. It might have to be like a balance.
And the most
of
recent
some
one
hammock,
was
some tent,
by far the worst.
Yeah, the most invasive and a lot of
So
scar tissue.
yeah, and which I've been feeling. I just even going on that 10-hour hike I did the other day up that mountain, almost didn't make it.
They call for me at the
So
house.
just so you know, if you are an influencer or YouTuber, backpacker, whatever, and you want me to go on a trip with you, I will get helicoptered in, dropped
cannot
off
be
at
great
camp,
distance.
and then airlifted back to safety once it's over.
Yeah, and you'll have an air mattress out there.
This
and
is
a
not very
tent.
inspiring. You know what? I'm gonna
Okay.
I'm gonna crank
Circle
out.
back around to the fact that I'm saying that this is the reason why I want to try this hammock out and really put my best foot forward and give it an honest effort.
Okay, let's do it.
So I'm willing.
Oh,
We will
and
see.
Brittany has also never tried dehydrated
Going with this.
food.
Oh, phew. I was like, phew, where's he going with this?
You never had a Mountain House. You never had any of the brands out there.
Nope.
So on our overnighter, Brittany will be eating some.
What?
You will be eating.
At
That's our
home?
dinner. 100%. That's our dinner. If
When
we're
I
going
have
out tonight,
access to my own food?
no. If we go
bring a little
out, if we go
Tupperware.
out on an overnighter, we're gonna treat it as though we are actually out camping. There's no just going back and getting food, even though I've done that on a lot of my trips. We are packing in whatever we're gonna have for the night. Period. So I'll be running a long extension cord with TV, so we can watch The Office while we're laying out there, and it'll be just like camping. So,
So rustic.
all right, we got more kids calling us.
This is like this.
So we are signing out.
Signing out. I stuck my tongue out because I don't know. It's just one of those habits. I do it to the kids all the time.
Signing out.
Not signing out. No, signing out.